Hello everyone and welcome to One Card Wonder Wednesday for today, Wednesday, August 15th, 2018. I have been thinking about making a card using window sheets because I saw some ideas and I really think it makes an adorable card. So today that's what I'm going with. I used some of the Stampin' Up! Window sheets, so you've got the clear window sheet is the base of your card. So the first thing I did was cut a piece of, the window sheet in 11 inches long and 4 1/4 inches wide. And then I had to figure out which stamp set I wanted to use with it. And I had recently bought the Follow Your Dreams stamp set along with the Chase Your Dreams, I believe it's called. Yep, the Chase Your Dreams framelits. And I've been wanting to use these and I hadn't had a chance to use them, so I thought, why not now? We'll use it with this window card. So I hope you enjoy this as much as I did, because I really think it turned out gorgeous. So I'm just going to set this aside. I'm going to show you step by step how I went about making the card. So like I said, I cut a piece of the 12 by 12 window sheet into 11 inches long and 4 1/4 wide. And I scored it in the middle. And I had to score it pretty hard a couple of times and then fold it really hard with a bone folder to get it to stay folded, because it's, you know, a thicker material. I took a piece of the Twinkle Designer Series paper, and I love this Petal Pink pattern with the white polka dots on it. And it's got this cute little stripe on the other side. And that's what I used for the side piece. And I used my snail adhesive, which I wasn't sure how it would work, whether it would show too much through the window card and look cheesy, but it really doesn't show through too much. At least on this designer series paper, it doesn't. And then I went ahead and just did the other side. I didn't go all the way across because I didn't want the adhesive on the actual crease, just because I want to make sure it opens and closes easily with the card, and then just a little bit on the end. So then I just took one side of it and lined it up with the front corner, and this is cut 2 inches wide, and I did 11 1/8, just a little bit longer, just so it folds over nicely and you don't have any excess hanging over the edges now. Even though it's just that 1/8 that's longer, but since you're folding it over this thicker paper, you want just a little bit extra to keep it from folding back and looking weird. I'm just gonna set this ink pad on top of that so I stop hitting the edge of that card. After I did this, I took a piece of Petal Pink cardstock and cut it into 4 inches wide and 5 1/4 inches tall. And I did the same thing. I just used the snail adhesive on it, just around the edges. I didn't do any in the middle because it doesn't really need that much. And that makes the inside of your card. That's where you're gonna write your sentiment, obviously. Now the card doesn't open as easy as other cards just because it's made out of the window sheet acetate, but it looks gorgeous when you get it done, and you don't leave cards laying open anyway. You usually have them displayed, so it's okay if it's not exactly like that. Now, for this project, I had to use the Big Shot a lot. I didn't use any of the sentiments that were in the stamp set. I just used the Dream. I cut that out with the Big Shot. And I used Whisper White cardstock to do the initial stamping of the Dream Catcher in Gray Granite, which is a beautiful color. When you get it stamped, it looks really pretty with the Petal Pink. So I started with that base, and then I decided I would cut out some of the sparkle glimmer paper. Now what's wonderful about this glimmer paper is you don't end up with sparkles all over you. You don't get glittery when you use it. That is the one fantastic thing the most fantastic thing, I guess I should say, about Stampin' Up's glimmer paper, you don't get covered in glitter when you use the new paper that they've come out with. I use some Tombow glue and go around the edge of the dream catcher, and of course I always end up with a little bit on my hands, so I have to have a baby wipe handy, and I didn't get any out, so I'm gonna have to do that. But just glue the glimmer paper down onto your dream catcher. That little part that I cut out is just really just gives it just a little bit of extra oomph to that dream catcher. And then I also use some of the champagne foil paper, which really pairs gorgeous with the Petal Pink and the gray granite as well. And I did the same thing with the back of this. I didn't put any glue on the little feathery things that are hanging down, but I just put a little bit of Tombow glue around the edges. If I can get it to come out now, I'm looking like I need to buy some more Tombow because I use it so often. Just a little bit around the edges and a little bit around just in the center. And now it doesn't adhere as well to the glimmer paper as it does to the regular cardstock, so you just gotta kind of hold it there for a minute and give it some time to dry. And you can just leave it set, or you can set something on it like your adhesive or something just to hold it there. So I also wanted to incorporate some of the feathers, obviously. I did some on vellum with the gray granite ink. Flip that over the right way. I did some on vellum. Those turned out really cute. I did use my heat tool to dry the ink before I cut them out because I didn't want them to smear, and then I used some Whisper white cardstock, and I did some in Petal Pink as well. And then I actually have one extra here, but I used Stays On ink and I stamped the feathers onto the champagne foil sheets. And now you can't have they look just black from where you're at, but with the black ink and the Stays On, it looks really cute. Hi, Shannon. So after you get those, I'll leave that on there to let that dry a little bit more. So I just took a little bit of Tombow glue and put a little dot on the top of the feathers. And this one I went underneath this fringe that's already there, and then I did another one that was stamped in the Stays On ink on the foil paper on the other side, and also underneath. We don't need that one because that's one of my extras. And then I went ahead and did some adhering with these Petal Pink ones, and I went kind of under, but also so it kind of shows through. So it's kind of under, it's under one, but attached to the other. I don't know how to explain it. Just glue it in there. Once you get it in there, it's wherever you get it. Sorry, adjust this, just because I don't want it sticking up too much. There we go. This tool is awesome, which there is a new tool in the catalog called it's in the holiday catalog. It is the, oh my gosh, now my brain is going. Anyway, there's a new tool in the catalog, and it has a sticky end on it, and it has an attachment that has the paper piercer, and why I can't think of what the name of it is right now, it's because I'm doing this live. I'll have to put it in the comments later. I'm having a brain fart. But get all your little feathers glued on, and it doesn't matter which order you put them in. Just spread them out a little bit, and it's nice to have the different textures of the different paper using the Whisper White, the vellum, and the foil. So now that that's adhered, I went ahead and I took a pearl from one of the Share What You Love artisan pearls in the Petal Pink color, and I put it right in the center of the dream catcher. And I went ahead and took a couple more, and I just added them in if I can get it off the thing. Just added them in, like one at the top of this feather. You can just put them randomly. They don't have to be in any particular, put any on there any particular way, because it doesn't matter. A dream catcher is how you make it. And then I used some of the basic adhesive back sequins in this really muted champagne color that I love. And I added a couple of those on to the dream catcher as well, just to give it a little bit of bling. Put this one down here at the bottom on this one. And so there, the dream catcher's finished. Now it's kind of glued to my paper a little bit. And that will go on the front of the card. And what I did was I just took some of the Tombow glue and just did it right down one side. Not quite halfway, because you're not going to be quite halfway on this piece of designer series paper. And just glue it directly on there. And now while you're getting your dream cut out ready, what I did was I cut one in Petal Pink and one in the Sparkle Glimmer paper, and I took the Tombow glue and just put on the right hand side of the letters just a tiny little bit. And like I said, I'm always going to end up with glue on my fingers, because that's what happens when I use the Tombow glue. It's like being a kid again, and you're in school and get glue on your hands and peel it off. That's what happens to me. I end up having a bunch on there. So I laid the other Sparkle Glimmer paper on top and just moved it just a little bit so it gives it a little bit of a shadow. I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not, but it just has a little bit of a shadow. And then I flipped it over and I put some glue. It's a little too much. I'm gonna scoop that up. All the way over to the A. I didn't do any of the M because that's going to be sticking out over the edge. So you got your D, R, E, A are all going to be glued to that, and then that M sticks out over the edge. And to finish it, all I did was use some more of the basic adhesive back sequins and just randomly place them on the card. I did 3, and then I'm going to use some of the Twinkle adhesive backed stars that are really cute, and I'm going to use this one that has this, it's the shimmery little star, and I'm going to add 3 of those on here just to, again, give it a little bit of sparkle. Not too much, but just enough to add something to it. And again, just randomly place them. They don't have to be in any particular place or anything. And there you have it. There is the Dream Catcher card made using the window sheet as your base. Like I said, I had seen this idea with some cards that were made this way, and I just knew I had to make one, and I love the way they turned out. I just think they're gorgeous. I hope you get a chance to make one and have as much fun doing it as I did. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.